What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am feeling very summery today. I'm going to be doing a full review and comparison for you guys of the new Terracotta Light bronzers from Guerlain. I have two of the shades here. I have Light Cool and Light Warm. I'm going to be doing a full overview of these bronzers for you guys, a demo telling you a little bit about how these differ from the other bronzers in the Guerlain collection, and also comparing with you guys the differences between the cool tone ones and the warm tone ones. So if you guys are interested in that, keep watching. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sophia. This is my channel where we talk about all things beauty and makeup. I upload content every single week on all of the newest luxury beauty releases. So if you want a little bit more luxury in your feed, please consider subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it, guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And just a quick reminder, I will link everything in this video down below in the description box so you guys can check out these products. All right, let's talk about these Guerlain bronzers. I'm a big fan of the Terracotta line, and these particular bronzers are called Terracotta Light, the sun-kissed natural healthy glow powder. That is the official name for these. These come in 6 shades. They are $56. You can buy them at Sephora now. They are available there, and I bought mine from the Guerlain site with my own money. Now, between the 6 shades, you have 3 different tones. So you have light, medium, and deep. And then within each of those tones, you basically have a cool tone bronzer and a warm tone bronzer. So that's what makes up the 6 shades. So that's kind of like a guide to help you figure out which of the bronzers is going to be best for you. Personally, I purchased the 2 that are in the light category. So right here, I have the light cool, and then right here, I have the light warm. And I am going to be talking about kind of like the differences between these. And from the Guerlain website, these are described as a unique blend of sun-kissed tones enhanced with vibrant colors to reveal a radiant, healthy looking glow for every skin tone. And so it's pretty clear when you look at these, the color comes from a mixture of 4 different finishes within the compact. So first off, you have just your standard satin bronzing shade. You also get kind of like a lighter, nudier matte shade in the palette that they call their tone on tone matte shade. You also have a blush tone. So this is the cool shade. So you can see the blush tone is more of like a light pink in this one. And then you have a luminizing shade, which it seems like in every palette is this sort of like darker brown that has a little bit of sparkle, just a little bit of shimmer to add a little bit of luminosity. And my understanding for these is that these are supposed to be something that feels like second skin. They're supposed to basically enhance your natural skin tone, just give like a little bit of a bronzing effect. They're going to be a lot lighter than the original Terracotta bronzer. When you look on the Guerlain website, they have the original Terracotta bronzer, which is kind of like their OG bronzer that adds a little bit of not only bronzeness but also luminosity. They have Terracotta Matte, which is basically the same thing, but it's purely a matte formula. There's really no shimmer. There's really like no glowiness to that. These are supposed to be something that's like a little bit lighter, a little bit more natural. And so they're kind of infusing not only like that blush tone to give you like a little bit more of a flushed effect, but they're also adding in that shimmer to kind of bring a little bit of glow and luminosity to the skin. But I don't want to scare you guys. This isn't going to look like super pink on your skin or super glowy and glittery on the skin. You're gonna see in the demo, and I'm wearing them right now, obviously. They look extremely natural. Now, I want to show you guys some close-ups of both of the shades that I have. Starting off with Light Cool. So this is number 00 Light Cool. And as you can see here, the light tone shades, and this goes for not only the light, but also the medium and the deep. The cool tone shades in this collection all have a very pinky nature to them. The blush color in each of the compacts is going to be pink, whether it's a lighter pink or a deeper pink, and that is the biggest difference. Now, when we look at the Light Warm, you can definitely tell the main undertone here is peach. It's just very peachy. It's a little bit more golden. And to me, once again, like the biggest difference is just the color in that blush tone that they choose between the light and the cool. So this one is going to be a lot peachier. And once again, it seems to reign true between the light, the medium, and the deep shades. It's just various shades of peach. And when I look at the difference between like that matte bronzing shade in the palette, I honestly don't see that big of a difference. Like I don't see such a huge difference where one of them looks like a lot more cool toned and neutral and the other one looks a lot warmer and golden. So I just want to point that out. And when you swatch these on the hand, you're going to notice something. You're going to notice that there is a difference between these, but the difference is very slight. And you'll see in the demo, like on the face, it's a little bit more noticeable when you do apply these, but when you just kind of swatch these, you know, I swirled my finger around in each of them and swatched them on my hand, you will see that they both have a beautiful light tone. They both are kind of like very soft. They have a very natural tone to them, but they don't look that different. So I just want to point that out. If you guys are like really struggling to figure out like, should I get the cool or should I get the warm? I just want to show you the difference right here. It doesn't seem that different to me. Now, I also just wanted to show you guys a quick comparison of what this looks like up against my regular terracotta bronzer from Guerlain. I have the shade number 3 medium warm. This was the limited edition one that they came out with this past holiday season, but it's basically the same formula as the regular Guerlain Terracotta bronzer. And when you look at the swatches, you will notice, obviously this is a deeper shade, it's a medium shade, so it's going to be darker, but you'll kind of notice as well, like the terracotta bronzer, it's just like, it's more brown. It's more noticeably brown, whereas the ones in this Terracotta Light collection, they're just number 1 lighter. They're a little bit more natural and they have a little bit more of like that blushed effect. They're slightly more luminous. So if you like the terracotta bronzer, but maybe you're looking for something that is just like a little bit lighter in tone, then I think you're going to enjoy these new Terracotta Light versions. Finally, I just want to mention for you guys that these are made in France and they have a 12-month shelf life, which is pretty typical of other Guerlain bronzers. Okay guys, so those are all of the basic details and I hope that those swatches were helpful for you. Now let's get over to a quick demo so you can see what this looks like on my face, and I'm also going to show you guys how you can use these as eyeshadow palettes. So let's get into it. Okay, party people, let's get into the application of these bronzers. I am going to do the light cool on this side of my face, and then I'm going to do the light warm on this side of my face. I don't have any powders currently on my face. I am only wearing the new Suku liquid foundation, and then I'm also wearing the new Dior Backstage concealer. So that is all I have on my face right now, plus a little bit of brows, because you know, gotta have the brows. So let's get into it. So once again, these are the 2 bronzers right here. I did just kind of like swirl my finger in there. So this is what it looks like once they are blended, because I was doing some swatches for you guys. But this is the light cool and this is the light warm. So as you can see, they are very, well, light. They're very light. So let's get started with the light cool on this side of the face. I am using a Koyudo brush. I love using this brush for bronzer. And you'll see that it is a little bit powdery. Woo, okay. Depending on what brush you use, because I did use a squirrel hair brush yesterday when I applied these, you can get something that is lighter or heavier. If you guys want this to apply very, very lightly, I would recommend using a squirrel hair brush. And if you want something that is a little heavier, like what I just did, then use something that is goat hair. And I want to point out here, obviously, it's very like natural in tone. It doesn't have a super like not bronzy, a super brownness to it, if that makes sense. I know that these are bronzers, but like when we get tan, we don't always just get brown, right? We have some flush to our cheeks. We have some natural sheen to our skin, right? So this is really kind of bringing that out, and that's it. This bronzer really blends itself. Now let's go in with the warm tone bronzer on the right side of my face. And I'm going in with a different Koyudo brush. It looks the same, but it is a slightly different shape. I was a little more careful with my heavy-handedness. Blending that all across the face. And there we go. And as you can see here, the difference is very slight, at least with these light tones between the light cool and the light warm. When I use these, I do get the general sense of like, okay, I feel a little bit peachier when I apply the warm, and I feel a little bit pinkier and more cool tone when I apply the cool toned one. But at the end of the day, I don't think that these between the two impart that much of a difference. So yeah, the difference is subtle. You can see this is a little bit more pink in tone, and this one is just a little bit more peachy in tone. It's very subtle, but it's there. It's definitely there, especially when you apply it to the face as opposed to when you swatch these. I feel like I see the difference in the application when it's finally on my face. I do kind of see a subtle difference there. Then again, I am more of like a neutral undertone, and so I think that for me, I definitely can go either way. If you are definitely more warm leaning or red leaning, maybe go with the warm. If you normally are more like pinky, rosy, cool undertones, then go with the cool. But for neutral, at least for me, I can kind of go either way. Now, while I don't think you can really pick and choose which kind of like specific colors you want for the cheeks with such a big brush, one experiment that I want to do is just, can you use this as eyeshadow? Just because these are such small little patches, I think if you had a smaller eyeshadow brush, you might be able to just use this as eyeshadow, maybe pick and choose your colors. So let's give that a try. I'm going in with a BK Beauty 201 brush, and I'm gonna try going into that little like warm toned patch right there. And we're gonna try this out. Ooh, that looks very pretty. I love doing this with my blushes and bronzers. If you guys aren't new here, then like, you know that. I think that it creates a really nice connection between what we have on the face. Now I'm going in with a BK Beauty 205, and I'm gonna try and dip into the little pink patch. Okay. It's not gonna be like the most pigmented pink, but it's extremely soft. I really like the way that this looks. That's very, very pretty. Finally, I am going to dip into like the darkest browns that they have here. I'm gonna put that in the outer corner. This is the part that has like a little bit of shimmer, but it's so subtle. It looks really nice in the crease. I think that looks really good. I'm gonna go in on the other side with the warm tone palette. Okay, so this is the cool tone side and this is the warm tone side. I also did just like a little bit of the brown color on the lower lash line, and then I took the lightest color that's in each of these palettes, which for this one would be right here, and I just used that to kind of blend everything out. So I think that this looks fabulous. Yes, you can use these as eyeshadows. I think it would look really pretty if you also had a highlighter that you were using. You could not only put that on your cheekbones, but you could just dab a little bit in the center of the lid. I love to do that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Now I'm just gonna go pop on a little bit mascara and I'll be right back. I'm back. All right, guys, this is the final look. Just wanted to show you how it looks like, because mascara always ties everything in together. I'm wearing the Chantecaille mascara. I have a full review of this mascara. It's really good, and I will link that video down below in case you're curious. But this is what it looks like. I don't think that the difference between the tones looks that different. I am gonna be going out later today to do some errands and to get some dinner with friends, and like I don't feel like I look ridiculous, like it looks too different, but I do just kind of want to show you guys the subtle differences between those bronzers. Now let's get back to the rest of the video. Alrighty friends, it's now time for my final thoughts on these new Terracotta Light bronzers. What do I think of these? I really like these. I think if you like Guerlain bronzers, you're really going to enjoy these. I like the fact that you can basically use these as a bronzer, you can use them as a blush, and you can use these, as we saw in the demo, as a little eyeshadow palette. I think they're very multifunctional. I think also, like for me, if Guerlain's just gonna come out with another regular bronzer, it's not really worth it for me to buy, but the fact that these are different and you can use them a little bit differently than maybe the Guerlain bronzers or other luxury bronzers that you have in your collection, I do think it makes it worth the buy. Obviously, these are $56. It's a luxury price tag, but I really feel like, as always, with Guerlain and bronzers, I think that they live up to the quality that is promised. So for me, $56, I'm happy to pay that. And I know for a lot of you guys, you enjoy luxury bronzers. So I think these are gonna be worth it for you. Now, about selecting your shade, because some of you guys had questions for me, you were worried that they were going to be maybe like a little bit too light. Just keep in mind that these are going to be very natural looking. As you can see on my face, it's very natural looking. I really like that they have a little bit of a glow. They have a little bit of like either a pink or a peachy undertone to them. But keep in mind that these are light, okay? So if you want to look extra bronze, maybe go one shade deeper. Honestly, I think I could use the medium shade. I think that I could pull that off. I have the medium shade in the regular terracotta bronzer, so I would try and just go with what you typically enjoy from Guerlain if you have already bought one of the terracotta bronzers from their other options that they have in their collection. I think that you can get a lot more pigment depending on the brush that you use, because when I went in with a squirrel hair brush yesterday, I really felt like, oh, okay, maybe I should have bought the medium shade. But as you saw in the demo, using a squirrel hair brush or something that just picks up a little bit more pigment, you definitely can get a lot more pigment from these. So I think that they are very buildable, and that is great. So don't be too afraid by these. I like that they have a different range of tones. I like that for those of us who are super pale and maybe we're like a little bit scared of being heavy-handed with bronzer, they do have these very light shades that are buildable. So I do think that these 6 shades are gonna work for a lot of different skin tones. Kind of going off of what I said before, I also like the fact that this isn't just a bronzer that they made in a light version, like for instance like Hula Light, etc. I like that they added something a little bit different. If you guys are kind of debating like which to get between like the cool and the warm, I would say number one, you don't need both. As you saw in the swatches in the demo, like they're not that different. I think you just need to ask yourself, do you like peachier tones or do you gravitate more towards like peachier blush? Do you have a golden undertone or like a redder undertone for those of you who have more of like a deeper complexion? Then I would go with the warm tone. If you gravitate more towards like pink blushes, pink highlighters, and maybe, you know, you have more of like a blue and a pinker undertone and you really go for that kind of color range when you're selecting foundations, then go with the cool. But guys, don't buy both. Like I didn't need to get both. I kind of bought them just for this review so I can really show you guys the differences between the undertones. So I just want to try and like save you guys money if you're debating between these. If anything, get one in the light and one in the medium, or one in the medium and one in the deep, and then you can kind of like mix and match. I also think that you can kind of layer these with your other bronzers. You can use maybe your regular terracotta bronzer all over your face, and then you can get one of these maybe in a deeper shade to kind of go in as more of like a blush. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use these. At the end of the day, I think that these are fantastic bronzers. I really like them. I think there's something that is a little bit different in my collection, and I highly recommend. So I hope that this video helped you guys. I hope that it helped you kind of figure out, are these gonna be worth the $56? And also just like what shade to choose. I know that that was the most confusing part for me. And hopefully I showed you how you can apply these in different ways and how you can use them on the eyes. Because guys, these are expensive, okay? And if I can use them as eyeshadow and they look pretty, then I'm going to do that because I want to get as much use out of these as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give your girl here a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. I will also put my Instagram handle right up here for you guys in case you want to interact with me on Instagram. That is where I tell you guys what I am shopping, what is on sale, what's been released. I let you guys know about all of those new exciting things in the luxury beauty community first on my Instagram. So definitely head on over there and follow me. And if you are still watching this video, maybe it means that you like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you as a part of my community. Comment down below, guys, and let me know what you think of these bronzers. Are you considering getting any of these? What shade do you think that you are going to get? Are you a fan of the terracotta line? And I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.